Hello folks, welcome to another video. So let's start off with Joe Biden. Of course, read up some more. So basically it's, I guess if you listen to what the Democrats are saying, or his handlers, is that he was outside playing with his dog. Yeah, a 78-year-old man outside playing with his German Shepherd puppy. Tripped over the dog, broke his ankle. They're saying he also has a black eye, so more than likely he fell down and face planted, and basically hit his head. Uh, and of course went to the hospital. And of course they mentioned a MRI, which is something you would MRI a broken bone. Then they mentioned that they also are doing a CT scan. And of course with CT scans, CT scans are normally used for heart attack patients. Stroke patients, what CT scan does, it is able to scan and get muscular and vascular so that the doctors or surgeons can look, for instance, at a patient's heart, or stroke patient, and at the veins and stuff that's in the head of a stroke patient. Now mind you, Biden did have 2 aneurysms, which he survived. Surgeons were able to drill small holes into his head. They drilled 2. One is to drain the blood and the fluid from the brain. The second is to cauterize the vessel, or wherever vessel that the blood that broke. And of course, those 2 aneurysms had to have happened when he was 60 or older. Had he been younger, he would be dead. Just like my cousin, he's definitely younger than 60, and yeah, he didn't survive his brain aneurysm. He passed away. And yes, a neurologist, neurosurgeons will tell you, once humans get to about the age of 60, so people who are 60 and older, their brains shrink a little bit, but it's not a whole lot. But it's from what was explained to me, is that it shrinks enough that that if there is a aneurysm or something like that, an elder person who's older than 60 could survive it. Not easily, but they could definitely survive it as compared to someone who's like 20, 30s, and 40s. So in the case of Biden, yeah, he survived it twice, and this time I'm under the impression that he had a stroke, fell over, broke his ankle. Yes, a fracture is a break. It's not a sprain. And then of course face planted, so he probably smashed his face into the ground. I don't think, they said it happened, he played with his dog on Saturdays when he tripped, and then Sunday they decided for precaution to take him to the hospital. More than likely he had the stroke on Sunday. Fell over, broke his ankle, smashed his face. They took him to the hospital. Of course, the press corps, when their white van stopped, the Secret Service came over. They physically held the doors closed, wouldn't let the press corps out. But of course, since this is their beloved Joe Biden, they didn't mind. They sat there like good communists. The chairman, Chairman Biden, is in the doctor's office. We must not disturb him. We must be good communists and sit in this white van and obey. So I have a feeling he is probably, if he did have that stroke, he's probably out. Of course, we know he's alive. Some people are saying, that's not Biden. That's his brother. They've switched out for now. They switched out a body double with Biden's brother. I had no idea he had a brother, and I don't know what his brother looks like. But people are saying he and his brother are about the same height, about the same build. They're not twins. Dog, what do you want? I just gave you your dinner, dog. All right. So, and of course, other people are saying that he got the cast because his handlers, the Democrats, put a what you call that, a ankle ankle monitor on him, and to cover up the ankle monitor, they stuck a cast. I'm like, well, he could just wear a. Now, I've never worn an ankle monitor, but I've seen what ankle monitors look like. You can pretty much, unless you're wearing shorts, if you wear if you wear socks over it and wear a pants leg over it, it's not going to bulge out to where pants leg couldn't cover an ankle monitor. Uh, so I'm like, well, yeah, okay, that of course we're getting into Alex Jones government conspiracy stuff here with the ankle monitor, and they're using that boot for people with broken ankles to to cover it up. Of course, Hillary Clinton had it, John McCain had it, and you know that's the other saying that you know Biden is dead, and that you know that was his handlers taking Biden's body to the hospital to put him in a morgue, and then his brother was the body double that came out. And of course, we haven't heard anything from Biden. You know, he does have that camera on his laptop that's in his basement that he could live stream. And you know, if I were the Democrats, I would be demanding, it's like, hey, you know, can Joe do a live stream so we can see how the future commander in chief is doing? You know, how is he doing? You know, because remember, it's his ankle that's broken, not his. Well, I guess his face is broken too, because they're saying he has a black eye. You know, because if it's his ankle, then he should be able to at least do a stream. Hey, I'm fine. My ankle's broke. I'm doing good. But again, if he has a stroke and he can't talk, and they're hiding it from you Democrats and from us Americans. So we'll see. Like I said, this week, if there is no concede from Biden, then that means that one, he is actually dead, or he had a stroke, he can't talk. Or number two, you know, he went to Trump. Trump said, "Nah, hell no, screw you, get out of my office. I'm not giving you a pardon for you and your family, you damn crooks." And I would believe Trump actually did that. He's probably, hey, get the hell out of here. You know, I'm sending you to Gitmo. So of course, this whole week we're having hearings. So before I get into the path of legislators, one, I have no confidence in the Republican/Rhino Rand legislators in these contested states. Of course, Rhinos are basically Democrats with R's behind their name. You know, these guys are on the payroll of Democrat billionaires. They're on the payroll of Democrat ran companies. So yeah, they're basically Democrats with R's behind their name. Now we pretty much lost Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's gone. You know, well, including Pennsylvania, other states are also on vacation too, because a lot of states, I think pretty much all states, in their state legislature session, around this time of the year, during the election. So when something like this comes up, you know, it's which of course the last time was 2000 was Bush versus Gore, and that was resolved in 36 days, and 36 days is coming up already. No, what is today? Today is okay. So today's the 1st. So basically, 5 more days will make it to 30. 5 more days will be 36 days. So can we resolve this by next Monday? I don't know. I hope we can. You know, because the closer it gets to the 14th, as everyone is saying, the closer it gets to the 14th, the window's closing. So yeah, I have no confidence in our state-ran rhinos that is going to side for Trump. So basically, what we need is, of course, Pennsylvania's gone. We gotta get either Georgia or Michigan. And today, watching that Michigan hearing and with the rhinos sitting behind that bench acting all high and mighty, probably not going to happen. We're probably not going to get Michigan. Our only hope is to get Wisconsin. Of course, in Wisconsin, the Trump team has filed a case for, I think it's 220,000 fraudulent ballots, and I forgot what it was, if it was like no-name ballots or something like that, with the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The problem is Wisconsin Supreme Court is for I believe it's 4 Democrats, 3 Republicans. So it's going to be a 4-3 ruling, and that one's going to get. I've been looking on the news after dinner. It's like, okay, is there anything on the Wisconsin Supreme Court case saying Trump case been thrown out? And of course, again, the liberals with their oh, Trump lost 20, 30 court cases. Yuck, 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 yuck. Being all snide. It's like, you understand, when you lose a court case, you appeal and it goes up. Uh, so we might be able to get Wisconsin and Arizona. I think Arizona is probably going to be the first state where the legislators actually do what they need to do, and give the 11 points from Arizona to Trump. We will probably. I'm hoping we can get Wisconsin, so that would be another 10 points, and then get either Michigan or Georgia. I have no confidence in Michigan. I have no confidence in Georgia either. So the path is either get Michigan. Actually, to win outright, Trump will need to get. He's got to have Michigan and Georgia, and either Wisconsin or Arizona to outright to give him 270 basically, 270 plus. But to give both Trump and Biden 269, the Trump team will need to get Arizona, Wisconsin, and either Michigan or Georgia. So that will take it to the House vote. And that's what I was saying. If we get Arizona and Wisconsin, then you got to get either Michigan or Georgia to take it to the House, to a House vote. But if by a miracle, and these Democrats with R's behind their name actually, in Michigan and Georgia actually the legislators actually do vote and give the electors to Trump, and then we would need either Wisconsin or Arizona. Probably Arizona is a lot more likable in that case than Trump pretty much outright wins. If it goes to the Supreme Court, which is what is probably going to happen, the kind of like in the case of Bush versus Gore, they went twice. They went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said no, go back to the lower court, go back to the Florida Supreme Court, and argue it with them. And they went back to the Florida Supreme Court. Florida Supreme Court said, oh, hell no, go back to the Supreme Court. No, go back to the U.S. Supreme Court. So they went back the second time to the U.S. Supreme Court, and that's when the U.S. Supreme Court was like, okay, we'll make a ruling. Because that's probably what's going to happen here, is that, and of course, we won't have time because we're talking about 6 states here as opposed to 1 state. And again, like Rudy Giuliani said about a few weeks ago, where if one of the cases makes it to the Supreme Court, then what they can do is bundle all 6 states into one bundle. And I don't think this time the Supreme Court is going to say, "Hey, man, go back to the lower courts, go back to the Supreme Court of all of these 6 states, and then come back again." That's not going to happen. Because I was watching Dinesh D'Souza's video, and he mentioned that. He's like, and I was like, yeah, they did do that during the Bush versus Gore. They sent the Supreme Court of the United States sent the case back to the Florida Supreme Court, who then said hell no, and they sent it back to the Supreme Court. And that's 1 state. So this time it's not going to be that easy for the Supreme Court to just say, hey, go back to the lower court, because we're talking about 6 states here, and we're also the window's closing. And of course, and I agree with Dinesh D'Souza. That's what happened, and it might happen this time too. But I don't think it is. And I also agree with Dinesh D'Souza when he says, one, Republicans need to stop being the nice guy, or at least stop playing nice, and stick your neck out. 2, start putting actual Republican judges in these federal lower courts and federal court position. And I'm pretty sure out of the 300 plus judges that Trump appointed, I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of them are Republican judges and not just constitutional or law law leaning judges. Because that's what's getting our butts kicked in the lower courts. these 20 to 30 cases, that the liberals are laughing at, saying Trump lost 20 to 30 cases. And now we understand, Republicans understand, conservatives understand that the lower courts are packed with Democrats, and they're going to vote Democrat. It doesn't matter what the evidence is. It doesn't matter if the evidence is overwhelming that hey, there is fraud going on. They're going to vote Democrat, or like what they've been doing is just kicking the case out of the courts. So until we start doing something like that, and that's how we've gotten to the situation we've gotten now in 2020. Is the Republicans, with their there'll be a next time. We're just gonna do just enough to survive. There's a next time. The problem is there is going to be no next time. All you dumb rhinos and you never Trumpers. How are you going to beat the Democrats when the Democrats control the voting machine? Look at Venezuela with Chavez. The only way Chavez got out of office was he was killed, and then Maduro took over. And the next guy to kill Maduro is going to be the guy who's going to take over, and voting in those socialist country is just for show. It's like this is just a movie you guys are watching. There's nothing really going on here, and that's what's going to happen with our republic. The republic's going to be gone. You're not going to have a republic. When one side controls the voting machine, you don't have a republic. You got a tyrant. You got a banana republic dictatorship, a tyrannical government in that case. Now, luckily, I speak a few other languages. Yes, I could flee if the U.S. turns into Venezuela. The problem is there's nowhere to flee to. A lot of guys here in the U.S. I fled to Vietnam. It's like, oh, okay, you fled to a communist country. What the hell is wrong with you? Yes, there are tons of expats. Yeah, there are tons of expats who are in Vietnam, and these are men. A lot of them are well-to-do. Some of them just worked their ass off for like 5 or 10 years, saved up a whole bunch of money, moved to Vietnam, Southeast Asia. The problem is it's a communist country down there, and now Vietnam doesn't like. They're communists, but they don't like China. The CCP, the communists in China and the communists in Vietnam don't see eye to eye, luckily, but they're still communists. No, I'm not fleeing to China. What the heck? It's kind of like you're moving. You're moving from you're deciding to put yourself in jail, basically. So yeah, there is nowhere to flee to, folks. Even if you're a millionaire, where are you going to flee to? Anywhere you flee to, they're going to fleece you. Hey, all the Hollywooders. Yeah, I got $100 million. I'm going to flee to here. You flee to there. You try to take your money. They're going to fleece you. Your $100 million. It's going to dwindle. It's going to, by the time you notice, it's going to be $10 million left. Yeah, then you're going to be like, oh shit, by then it's too late. The gun is at your head and it's being cocked. Right, so I'll close it on this. So over this weekend, I guess there was a college football game. A lot of guys are talking about it. Some girl, I guess. I guess it was the game was Vanderbilt versus Missouri, or better known as Mizzou. And no, Missouri is not a powerhouse. Vanderbilt just sucks that bad. So basically, during I guess before, or is it well, she kicked it off. So it had to have been after halftime. Yeah, if you understand football, there's a few ways where you do kickoffs. At the beginning of the game, beginning of after halftime, beginning of third quarter after halftime, or if somebody scores. In the case of Vanderbilt, they didn't score anything at all. So the score was already 21-0. So this was I guess the beginning of third quarter when she did this kickoff, which was like a 25-yard kick, and of course people come defenders like, oh, they told her to do a squid kick. I'm like, you couldn't get the backup quarterback you can get the backup receiver or backup tight end, you know, to go out there and do the squid kick. It's a squid kick. You know, she couldn't even do a proper squid kick because I'll explain what a squid kick is. Coming this weekend, I actually caught like the very end of the KC versus what's their name? KC versus was it Oakland that they played? No, it was that was last week. Yeah, I don't really watch the whole game. I just was like, okay, I think it's fourth quarter now. Let me tune in and see what the score is, kind of thing. And yeah, and I watch either I don't watch Cowboys now. I've kind of given up on Cowboys. But it was basically, I think it was against Oakland. Basically, the KC scored, and well, yeah, this is before they went in halftime. But anyways, what a squid kick is that you kick the ball, you try to kick it down the center of the field, and you try to get the ball to hit the ground, bounce up. That's what the squid part is. The ball so you kick the ball in a way that it hits the ground, and it squids all over the place. It bounces in the air, or it bounces to the left to the right, and it's basically meant to kill time. That's what a squid kick is. A squid kick is meant to kill time. Yeah, because that game was towards the end of the fourth quarter, and the KC needed to kill some time on the clock before so that the other team, when they got the ball, I think it was less than a minute or so. But that's what the purpose of a squid kick is. You kick it to where the ball hits the ground. It squids all over the place, or up in the air, to left, to the right. It's meant to kill time. And because the squid kick is, you want the other team to field the ball. You want someone to catch it. You want someone to get the ball after it squids around, kind of like a pig, I guess. And so no, I don't take that excuse of they told her to do a squid kick. No, she just kicked it bad. Okay. And of course when she kicked it. And if you look at the video, she ran straight off the field. She's running straight towards the. I'm pretty sure that's what the coach told her. After you kick this, run back towards the line, because I don't want you being out there in case they decide to run the ball. But luckily for her, the ball bounced around. The guy from Mizzou jumped on it. That was the end. And of course, the team lost 41-0. I think it was like 600 plus yards that Mizzou got to like 169 yards that Vanderbilt got. And of course, the score shows it's 41-0. And of course, before she came out, so they're saying during halftime they were down 21-0 at halftime, of course. And of course, in college football, coaches will call off once the score looks like it's going to get out of hand. They'll put in, the second team, the third team players, and that's probably what the Missouri coach did, because the score could have been much higher than 42-0. Is it 41-42-0? It could have been much higher. So they're saying at halftime, she was giving them a pep talk. It's like, so here is this girl that just joined the team 2 days ago. These guys on the Vanderbilt, they had to bust their ass, doing they had to give up their summer vacation because you got to go in early to do your two-a-days. And I think there's two-a-days and there's something else that they got to do on top of the two, because football players, they come in early, like towards the they have different things. They have receiver corps got to come in, linebacker corps, they got to come in at different times to do their special training. The defensive linemen, quarterbacks, they all got to come in and do like their specialty stuff. And then they have two-a-days after that. And she didn't, this girl didn't do none of that. She just came in 2 days prior because Vanderbilt is woke. And on top of that, their coach got fired right after the game. It was like the day after he got fired. So it was 41-0. Coach got fired. You were outgained by like 500 yards in your game. You scored nothing. That's what you call a blowout. And here's this girl that that just got put on the team for trophy purpose. Yes, yes. So all of that. So this kid, this player that just joined 2 days ago, gets a participation trophy. So they gave her the NCAA co-player of the week. You know, because if I was the guy that got the player of the week, I'd be like, I'm not sharing the player of the week with this participation trophy. That's what it was. Basically, they gave her a participation trophy, and you know, and all I gotta say is, Vanderbilt, you deserve the L. Well, that's it. Hopefully, we get this to the Scottish Supreme Court of the United States. Hopefully they don't. Well, they shouldn't, because it's going to be really, really hard to kick it back down to the lower courts. Because again, you got 6 states to worry about, and yeah, I would be outside smoking right now. But it's like, again, it's like 40-something degrees out there, and even my little heater's not enough, and I'm not going to be bundling myself up. Sitting out there shivering, trying to smoke, do a video, and we'll see. So it is Tuesday. And things are things. Yeah, Linwood, Sydney the Kraken, Powell. They're doing their thing. And again, their stuff is criminal. It's going to be criminal related. And now if the ruling, if there's any a judge ruling in either Linwood or Sidney Powell's case that would help Trump, that's great. But in this case, I'm hoping by Thursday or Friday that if they don't already, have a case filed with the Supreme Court of the United States, and because I think there are other, I believe there are other people who have cases filed, before the Supreme Court of the United States that's in relation to the election, and yes, other news, and of course you guys look it up, read about it. Oh yeah, one thing I almost forgot. This has never happened. Someone mentioned it, and that if it gets past December 14th, there's one more stop, which is basically January the 6th, and that's when the U.S. Congress, which would be the Senate and the House, actually certifies the election. And from what I've read, and again, not an attorney, not a constitutional lawyer either, is that if the senator and a House member from that state actually, what you call that? What's what I'm trying to think of? Challenges the state's the state's electoral, then that can actually throw out. But again, it takes a senator from that state and a House member, just one House member and one senator. Of course, there's 2 senators for each state, and again, depending on the population of your state. So if it gets, and again, in the history of the U.S., there's never been where it had to get to January 6th. Basically, I guess in all other presidential election, one of the candidates actually concedes before it gets to January 6th. Yeah. So from what I read is correct, it takes a senator and one House member to challenge the electoral of that state to make it to where it gets thrown out. So you're going to need a senator from from one of these 4: Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, which and I don't see that happening, and my suggestion to folks is, yes, there is no next time, but if Trump does somehow pull this off, which I think he will, we still got time, is that remember the House member, because I'm here in Texas, I can't do anything about the senators House, senator and House members in another state, and I can't do anything about their legislators. But here in Texas, we got two rhinos, John senators, John Cornyn. I'll definitely be if he's, of course, he's not up for re-election until 2006. In his case, whoever is the primary against him, and if I get a chance to, of course, for primary, that's the thing for primaries is you have to be a registered Republican, and you have to register, and you have to register to with the Republican, that you want to vote in a primary. So that's the problem with the primary is that you have to be a registered Republican. So I'm telling folks, hey man, go register as a Republican. Register you want to vote in a primary, and in primary these people out of office. John Cornyn, he of course he's not backing. He's a rhino. Ted Cruz, of course. Now Ted Cruz came out and supported Trump, but he's a rhino too. He's of course his re-election isn't until 2004, and I'm pretty sure Ted Cruz is looking at this and going, man, you know what? I'm going to have to deal with the Democrat voting machine in 2004. If I am going to try to run for the president in 2004, rather it be Trump was in office or Biden was in office, from 2000 to 2004, if I got to fight the Democrat voting machine, ain't no way I'm going to win. Yeah, and that would be correct. Any Republican, if the Democrats get their way, there ain't no way a Republican is going to beat whoever it is that they, whether it be Biden or whoever, if Biden's still alive by 2024, or whoever they put in office, for whoever the Democrat primaries, they're going to pretty much automatically win. You control the voting machine, and of course Patch Eye, they call him the one eye Cyclop Dick. Dan Crenshaw, yes, he's also another rhino that's here in Texas. And he needs to be, primaried out. So John Cornyn needs to definitely be primaried out, senator. Dan Crenshaw, yeah, he does represent my district, so I don't even have a vote in his case. And of course the representative in my district hasn't exactly stepped forward either and go, hey man, you know what, so we probably need to primary her butt out of the. Of course she's been in office like over 20 plus years. Ted Cruz, he's kind of on the fence, because he's kind of redeemed himself a little bit, but he's still got that rhino. To me, he's still got that rhino sticker on his forehead. You're not fooling, you're not fooling me, Ted Cruz. Well, that's it. We'll see what's going on, but stay safe. Don't worry about coronavirus. It's got 99.99% survival rate. Unless you're an 89-year-old grandma, then yeah, you're probably screwed. So, and thanks for watching.